Hello, everybody. Welcome to Contextual Advisory. This is our very first podcast. Today, we'll be talking about why it's important to support black businesses in this current political climate. I'm Tony Edwards.
Hey, Chris Palmer, y'all know what it is.
You know who this is. I ain't hard to find. This the big homie.
All right, that's Raken Grant. And we got
Eric Taylor in the house, man.
Big E.
Big
Yes,
E.
sir.
E with an A. All right, so today we're talking about supporting black-owned business. Today we'll be talking to Raquel Mealing and Will Sims. They are both owners and operators of their own websites. One of them is Outside the Box Creative Services, and the other one is Making Strong Sense. She makes candles, body wash, all kinds of fun things like that. We're going to go ahead and get into this interview. Please excuse the sound quality. We had to conduct it over Zoom. It's the best we could do with what we have available during this pandemic. So here it is. Today we're talking with Will Sims and Raquel Mealing. Now they are, respectively, the owners of Outside the Box and Making Strong Sense. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourselves, how you guys got started with your businesses.
Ladies first.
Well, originally I was an event planner and I made candles during that. And then I ended up with cancer and I needed to do something to motivate myself to, I guess, essentially keep living. And so candles kind of did that. But I only did it for like fun and gifts. And then this one here kind of like talked me into making it into a business. So that's where we're at today.
So what's your web address and what kind of products do you offer?
It is making, MAKIN, strongsense.com. I offer candles, of course, wax melts, room sprays that you can use in your car. And I am going to start offering body wash and soap, scrubs, and body butters and hand sanitizer.
So you're moving from candles into more personal care products, soaps, and things like that. That's awesome. Now I've personally purchased as a gift for my wife some of your candles, and I can personally say that they're real high quality. You can tell you really put your work into it, and you really love what you do. Will, now
Yeah.
you own Outside the Box Creative Services.
Yes.
I've also purchased shirts from you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started with the business.
I started out kind of, I want to say fell into it. I've always had a passion for art. I've always been artistic. I started out in engineering, so I kind of dabbled in some things, but when the auto industry went down, I kind of thrusted myself into just doing something for myself so I wouldn't have to be dependent on anybody else. And it just kind of grew. I had a lot of friends that knew what I did, so they supported me heavily. And then it started to spread to just different avenues. I had sports teams that came to me, asked me to do different designs for like uniforms and tees. I did a lot of graphic designs for like business cards, flyers, things like that. And it just kind of expanded to where pretty much I was designing all kinds of things. Anything you could think of, I pretty much designed it, and then got further into doing the printing part myself later on. So
Awesome.
kind of just like I said, just kind of started from just a passion I had since I was a kid, and just kind of just grew from there more or less with opportunity.
Right. So I'm like I said, I purchased your products. You use real high quality materials. I've had some of your shirts for over a year, been washed multiple times. They still look just as good as the day I got them. So kudos to you on your product quality. I was looking at your website, OutsideTheBoxCS.com. Some of your designs, they're really unique. Now you do all the designs yourself.
I do every single design myself, and all the designs you see is just a fraction of what I've done, and probably more so than just the designs that I push out that I create for other people, like on a site. I get about maybe 200% more from people that want me to do custom things for them.
Right, right.
They
A lot
do
of
their
people are
own
looking for
businesses,
custom work
all
now.
kinds of stuff. Yep.
Oh wow.
For this is a question for each of you. What are your most popular products you guys offer right now?
Masks.
Yes,
Masks,
masks
of
are really,
course.
really hot right now. Every time I come up with a new one, they go off the shelf basically, and then someone comes, like I said, with the custom stuff. Someone's like, "Oh, you do that? Can you do something custom for me?" So,
Right.
custom's where it's at, and definitely the masks are like the hottest thing going right now.
Now, if somebody wants to place a custom order from your site, there's links to order custom. Should they email you directly?
They can email me directly. That'd be the best way. They can just tell me what they have idea wise, or even if they just have something they want me to just come up with myself, send a message to the site itself, or they can, or that too. Roxy just made a great point. They can also send a message to the Facebook page as well.
Through
And
the
all of
Facebook
it's linked
page?
together too.
Okay. All right. So, what advice would you have for anybody that's currently trying to start a business of their own?
My advice for someone that wants to start a business: first, start slow. A lot of people make the mistake of trying to bite on more than they can chew. Take baby steps.
And research too, because you may have a really good idea that you may not know or have an exact accounting of the steps that you have to take to get to it. And so research is a must.
Yes.
Right, such as acquiring an LLC, any business licenses you may be required in your state.
That's important, and also research
What you're doing for your products. Like if you're doing shirts and stuff, and even like down to masks, research what materials you would need for that, like your I don't.
Yep.
And down to like even for candles, research the type of waxes that last the longest. Research, fragrance oils and things like that.
Yep. Also, I'd say research your audience. You have to figure out what your target audience is going to be, and then you have to research what will reach them. You have to research what's trendy, what's popular, and then at the same time, kind of put yourself into it to where you can still keep a uniqueness about you to add with that research that you put in of what's popular. Because you always want to stand out, but you don't want to stand out so much that it's not something that's attractive. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kind of like a fine line between the two things.
And use social media.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely social media.
And it's important also to offer unique products, because a lot of people might be offering what you're offering, but they might not be offering it at the quality or with the creative abilities as such you guys provide. So how's this pandemic actually affected your business so far?
I'll let her go first on this one.
Well, a lot of people they were, at home for a long time, and you kind of tend to buy when you're at home, and
So it's been kind of booming right now then.
It was I did decently. Like candles, people like candles, and people like the differences in, because I don't just do soy wax candles. I do like scenic candles and stuff. And so people like looking at, seashells in their candles.
I've seen some of the stuff you do. They're like works of art. Like I can't see how people would want to burn some of them.
This is true. A lot of people don't.
I get it a lot. But I mean, my basic thing is I can always refill them with wax and start all over.
Of course. So in this political climate, there's a big movement to support Black-owned businesses. So what do you guys think people can do to help support the Black-owned business?
Well, I think first and foremost, research. Research what you're looking for. Check your local business like around you. Just look in the vicinity. Go online. You can go use your social media. Ask about small business. Ask about the type of product you're looking for. Pretty much just research, I would say.
Now, in your opinion, should you buy from a business just because it's Black-owned, or should you also be looking for quality on top of?
I would say quality on top. definitely quality. You can't just go in and look just because it's black owned. I mean, they might have just crappy products. So it's best you research, you find out the reviews. You go in there yourself too to see what they're offering, and then go from there.
Will, Raquel?
It's best to look for quality over anything. There are people that, will try to make a buck, and they will use some of the cheapest materials out there and create a hassle for you. And they just, they market themselves as, a black owned business and use that as their drive, and they're not contributing to the community as a
Because
whole.
at the end of the day, any business is a business, and you should expect quality, no matter who's running it. You want to make sure you have quality
Exactly.
first.
That's why myself, and I know Raquel as well, we keep that in mind. We don't
sure.
consider ourselves to just be black businesses. We consider ourselves to be business people who happen to be black. So we strive to do the best that we can and represent for who we are. So I'm not just a black business, someone comes to me, they're gonna, whether they see my face or not, and they get the product and they give a great review and find out that I'm black, that just kind of helps.
Icing on the cake, right?
Icing on the cake. And I find that a lot of times because of that, I wind up getting more support. I wind up getting a lot more reviews, a lot more shares. So basically, yeah, it's important to support, but don't just support just because someone is black. Look for somebody that's got a good history. Look for somebody that you've got a good rapport with. Look for somebody that's got great reviews. It helps that they are black, but don't do it just because you don't want to be burned. And I hate to say it, but I mean, we all know it. There's a stigma about black people not being good at business or black people not having great work ethic. We don't want those type of people to
out there, yes.
Yeah, and we just don't want people to contribute to that. We'd rather you find somebody with the history, find somebody that is good, support them, and be happy with what you get.
Right. I've heard people have arguments about, if you only support black-owned businesses, that's prejudice, or something like that. Now, my reaction to that is it's about injecting money into a community that has not had the opportunity to be at the same level as somebody who, say, their grandparents might have passed a business down to them, and that was passed to them by their parents, and so on and so forth, because of all the injustices that have going on in this country for so long. So the whole purpose of injecting money into black-owned businesses is to give people a more equal playing field and try to get everybody on a more sustainable level. People should keep in mind when your average person walks into a store, they're not going to be thinking, gee, does a white person, does a black person, does a Asian person own this store? They're going to walk in and they're going to be like, do they have what I'm looking for? Do they have the quality I'm looking for? So that's not your average person walks into a store, that's not necessarily the first thing they're thinking. So if you're looking to support black business, like Chris had mentioned, you should do the research. You should find out who owns the businesses you shop at. Do you support the causes that they support? It's up to the buyer to do the research, because in some cases people might see that a business is black owned, and that might be a turnoff to them due to their personal prejudice.
Yes, and honestly, it even happens with us. A lot of times, even black people won't support other black businesses when they walk in the door, when they see black people that run it or that own it, because we kind of feel the same way as far as that stigma. We're so used to being burned that it's kind of a turnoff.
Right.
Is it right? Not necessarily, but I mean, it's still a bad feeling. So that's why, just like you guys were saying, you want to make sure that you research and you're walking into a place that you feel is reputable before you even go in there, so that you kind of have a high expectation and you have you kind of feel like you have more security, and when you walk away, you're happy,
Right. Now, a lot of the stigma, I feel, is passed down through the media's portrayal of African Americans, black people, however you want to word it. A lot of people are always portrayed as crooks and criminals, and not as professional business owners or anything like that. You know, your average white person in the U.S. doesn't really have that many interactions with anybody outside of their own, you know, social group, as it were. And all they know is what they see on television or hear from their friends who heard it from a friend and all that. Um, I just feel like people need to spend more time getting to know the other people in different communities. You guys, you do an amazing job. Like I said, you guys offer high quality products at a good value. All right, thank you guys for listening. Once again, we're here with Will Sims from Outside the Box Creations and Raquel Mealing from Making Strong Sense. All right, that was Raquel Mealing and Will Sims. Check their websites out, man. Like I said, they've got some great products at some great prices. Support the community. All right, so what do you guys think? What is the most important thing about supporting black owned businesses to you guys?
Well, I think the most important thing is you do the research on that business.
Right. That's as you said in the interview.
You get as much information as you can on the business, the product, and know what you're looking for. You know, know your art. You know what you want, know what you're looking for. You know, get as much reviews as you can. Like I said, tap into their websites, hear from other people, and just get a good feeling of what their product is about and who they're about.
Oh yeah.
Get to know what you're buying.
Mm-hmm.
Get to know what you're buying. Like, you want to know who you're buying from first and foremost. Because not every business, like I said, is going to advertise they're a black-owned business. You know, I mean, you want to inject money into the community because of all the injustices that have been done to the community over the years. You know, you got to try to get back on equal footing as much as you can financially.
Well, they say get to know the people behind the product. You know, that's a big thing.
Yes, sir.
You know, because I know we want to support black owned businesses, but we also want to support good people too behind that product. You just don't want to support crappy people just because they're black. You just want to support them also because they're black, but because they're giving good service.
Gotta be good.
Yeah,
Gotta have good customer service.
Yeah. And I think that's where we're lacking with black owned business. Our customer service can be better. Not saying it's different
Some
from some are black. Yeah, it can be better. You know.
So we're all in the Metro Detroit area. What are some of the black-owned businesses you guys frequent and want to give a shout out to?
44 Burrito.
44 Burrito.
Hey man, they burritos hit differently.
Do they?
Easton yes, right there on 8 Mile.
8 Mile.
Yep.
Yeah, I do the Caribbean Kitchen.
Jamaican Pot is another one too.
Jamaican Pot.
Yeah,
Jamaican Pot. Where are these located?
Right there on 8 Mile and
Chicken.
Hubble.
Caribbean Kitchen, McNichols and Myers. Between Myers, it's actually Mendota.
Oh, right there. 8 Mile and Hubble for Jamaican Pot.
Oh yeah. Well, out here in Belleville, the suburbs, we got Coach's Chicken. We just tasted their delectable delights this evening.
Oh, Coach's Chicken.
Oh yeah.
Mr. C's closing.
Okay.
East Point off Kelly.
Okay. You got some barbershops too. Your barber. It's always like, that's your most important.
I mean, he ain't seen them yet. Do you really want to be advertising somebody that ain't lined you up in a minute? No, you don't want him advertising who did that mess right there.
In a minute,
hey, the barber always got to take care. That's your most important person in your life.
Oh yeah.
It's your mama.
Unless you got kids, right?
That's true. That's true.
Right. So now supporting black-owned businesses, like you said, that's important. What do you look for when you're going into any business whatsoever? Like, we want to give people motivation as what they want to provide if they're trying to open a business themselves. Like, what do you first think?
Excellent customer service. That's got to be top customer service.
Yeah.
Customer always right.
Yeah, like how they treat their customer.
How they present the product.
Yep. How they, their time. How their time, have great time management skills. Do they really listen to their customer base? Do they, stay on top of things?
Any business you walk into, man, you don't want to just walk into some place that has dirty floors or, the wait staff is just rude and unattentive.
Like they said, presentation, everything. Like first impression is lasting. You want to see the business in the top shape when you come in there and see it. So you want to see it in a positive light. that resonate with people.
Oh yeah,
You
for
go in
sure.
there and you see, it could be the best business ever, but you might walk in there the wrong day. You like, man, it's
Oh, man,
crappy
that
in here.
business was trash.
Yeah,
so
you might.
I never want to go back in there.
And the staff too. How the staff treat customers. How they come in there? Are they rude? Are they kind to people? Are they
Oh yeah.
asking you questions? How are they trying to help you find whatever you're looking for? Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Are they assertive? Things like that very matter.
So on a societal level, what do you think has contributed to the lack of black-owned business owners? Like there's a lot, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot that has contributed to that.
Oh,
Because as I said in the interview, a lot of black families don't have businesses passed on to them from their great-grandparents to their grandparents to their parents and to them. So what do you think are some of the things society could do to equalize the
economics. I don't
playing
know,
field?
so if we can get more grants or something to put into your business.
More business grants for minority business owners? Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Truthfully, us just being more united and getting more research on things too, because I feel like we're not all tapped in on the business aspects. I think we need to learn as much as
Education?
Yeah, education.
Yep.
I'm just saying, man, it's a lot of stuff we can do. Like you said, we just gotta take more action. Be more assertive in our approach. What we want, what we looking for.
So what do you think are some of the contributing factors to, even as they said during the interview, even black people look down on black businesses before they even step in the door? What do you think contributes to that?
The whole perception.
Yeah, it's not perception.
Us in general, we go
No,
online.
it's customer service.
that's
Honestly,
true.
it's customer service.
That's
you
true.
know what I'm
That's
saying?
very true.
It's
So
very
that's why you get looked down on if your customer, and it's not necessarily the owner, but it's the people that they employ.
that you employ. Yeah, that's what I was
You know
getting
what I'm
at earlier.
saying? Because they the one have the snotty attitude when they come in there.
But then they go
And
to
like,
a
you know what
brand
I'm
new
saying?
business and don't give them a
Yeah.
fresh.
Hold on, but to be fair, I do feel like we give black owned less patient according
That's
to
what
how
it
we
is,
give
yeah.
everybody else. I feel like we have a short leash with them.
Like you go to one black
But the
business
short
and then the
leads,
next
the
one you
short
looking
leads
down on
come
it.
from shitty attitude when you go in the joint.
I know, but I feel I watched us go in.
But not
restaurants
every business like that.
Yeah, I watched us go in some Chinese restaurant, and they're very rude in this way, but we're very patient with it.
Yep.
You go in there and it's a black owned business. Nah, they be like they ready to cuss
Like,
them out.
nah,
Nah, yeah, they're like,
screw
no,
this.
I'm never come back here. But you come back to this same rude Chinese
Yep.
like, every day. I've seen it. So I think we do have a shorter leash with our own. I feel like we expect more out of us.
Because it's our own.
maybe
That's
Because
what
it's our
it
own.
is. We expect us to be better because we know
That's why
what it is.
I
So
feel
I think
like
that's
it
what it
boils
is.
back down to customer service.
Yeah, so I think he might
Gotta
be right.
have good customer service.
Because I think we do demand more out of us. We know they're like that, but
Right.
us, we're getting to that business. We should be better from the start.
So-
So I think that's what it is.
How much of it do you think is the media's portrayal of African American people as, inherently rude and misbehaved?
Or
and,
yeah, I want
I
to
don't
engage.
think that have necessarily nothing to do with it because it's the business is in the inner city and these are businesses you frequent on a regular.
That's true.
So that where it comes from, word of mouth, and then when you go in there and you see people, you know what I'm saying, attitude. People got shitty attitude like, yo man, if you didn't want to work here, you shouldn't apply for a job here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
so
the job,
basically, so for the business owners, you're trying to say hire quality staff. Don't
Don't
just
just
hire
hire-
anybody
yeah.
that walks in the door. You want to
Take
make
your
sure.
time to hire the right people.
I
Yeah.
train them better.
Yeah, training, but
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's just, you know what I'm saying, insufficient training. Maybe you just need to train them
and
better.
do thoroughly interviews. Sometimes
Thorough
I
interviews,
feel like
you know.
people sometimes interview people just because they want to. Just interview them and find out why they want to work.
Yeah,
here.
actually
the
take
real
the time to
purpose.
figure out
I've
what
met
they wanna
I
do.
met-
I spent 13 years of my life in business management. Okay. Now I was in a corporate structure where I was the general manager of a business that I had to report to area supervisor who reported to the president and all of that stuff of the company. So I couldn't make 100% of the decisions, and I kept getting basically like cussed out because I held my people that I hired to a high standard. I wouldn't just hire somebody to get a body count in the business, to be like, oh, you have to reach this certain amount of employees. I'm like, well, I'm not going to hire people just to get a number. I'm going to hire people I know are going to perform a good job
Yeah, you
and
definitely-
give my customers the service that they're paying for. Because every dollar you spend at any business, you had to earn that dollar.
Yeah.
You had to
Yep.
work.
Word of
get
mouth
that
is
dollar.
everything. Because
Yeah.
if you have somebody come and patronize your business and they get a shitty attitude, they go back and tell 30 people.
Oh,
Yeah, and
Yep.
that-
And then
that's
that 30 people
30
each go back and
turn
tell 30 more
100,
people.
Yeah, and
now they
then
got
before
that
you know it,
mindset.
those 5 people that say their business is great means nothing because it's
Yep.
already 30 to 100 people.
And
that
if you
say
look
their
at-
And
business-
then one out of that 100, if they decide, let me go check it out for myself, when the first time they come in there, stuff don't run
And it's
perfect,
proven right.
boom,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
really gonna be
Yeah.
like, you
All
know
right.
what?
So
One
if
little
you
thing
was
that's off,
lying
they
about
like,
that.
oh, nah.
So if you go online and you look at like business reviews on Yahoo, what's the other one? Yelp.
Yelp,
On Yelp
Yelp.
especially.
Yep.
Okay, you might see one good review
And then
and
it's 30
25
yes.
negative reviews.
Easy.
Now on average,
Always.
your general customer, they had a good experience. They're going to come in, they're going to have a good time. But when people have a good time, they don't share that information.
Yeah,
Yes,
they just say it was
because
a great.
they're just
it was
like-
just a great
Prime
experience.
They're not
example-
going to go tell everybody, but when you're pissed off, you want the world to
They
know.
say the floors weren't
Prime
clean.
example, I'm
or-
pretty sure you,
Bad press gonna get off
a prime example,
quicker than the good press.
I'm pretty sure you guys had job interviews in the past where you looked at the reviews and you'd be like, all you hear is crap review and it might be 2 good reviews. And you'd be like, should I trust the 2 good reviews or should I trust all
Yeah, because
30?
if you got 30
Yeah.
bad reviews, that's what's gonna
Yeah,
sway
that's
your
what's gonna
yeah,
sway
yeah,
your
yeah,
emotions.
yeah.
Like, I'm not taking this job because everybody's saying it's crappy. But it's
Yeah.
2 people saying, I had a good time. You're not going to listen to them. So, negativity does spread.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I say. Boils back down to customer service.
Oh, yeah.
You
'Cause-
have to have good customer service, and
Yeah.
that started with your employee.
And-
Either you have to train them better or pick better people.
And I feel like, too, I do sometimes feel like they can't let certain stuff slide. Like, that negative attitude, I feel like you said, you got to cut that out right away.
Especially when you're spending
Yeah,
your money. You
yeah.
don't want that negative attitude spending your money.
Now, when I was
You know what
running
I'm
a
saying?
business, my first question in an interview would always be, why do you want to work here?
Yeah.
Because there's so many jobs available. Why do you want to work here?
It got to be something different.
And if their answer was, well, I need a job, that was instantly a turnoff to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you need a job. You're looking for answers more like, oh, because I've always wanted to get involved in, whatever industry is, say it's a restaurant. I've always wanted to get involved in the restaurant business because I love food. I love interacting with people. You want a response like that, not just, well, I need a job.
Yeah.
That right there, if that was an instant turnoff for me because it's like, oh, that's the obvious
But it
answer.
should
You're
be.
here because you need a job.
And let's be real, when people want to come into somewhere to spend their money, they don't want all that kickback, all that negative kickback. They're already frustrated. Maybe they got off work. Maybe they had a bad day. They want a
Got off
pleasant,
work
yeah,
late.
they want a pleasant experience. So you want to greet that customer with as much happiness and
yeah.
the right approach as possible.
And even ourselves, like when we're having a bad day, we're just waiting for that littlest thing to just set
Just
you
tick
off.
you off.
You know what I mean? And it's easy to take your frustration out on somebody that you'll probably won't see again.
Yeah, you 9 times out of 10, you don't care about them that much. So why does it matter?
If you're going to enter into a business, what you got to deal with the public, customer service is everything.
Because I never used to know.
And
you know,
that's technically the only thing, customer service.
Oh yeah.
yeah, because that's what they said. The customer's always right. I never used to know what that mean, but now I know.
Yeah, now you do.
I
Yeah,
mean,
now you
lately
get- I
with the
get it.
face mask though, no, them customers ain't right.
Oh, no.
Not walking.
No,
out
no,
the
no.
door.
F them
Yeah,
customers. Hey, look.
Jay's lately having attitudes about that crap.
My
too,
thing
man.
is, the thing, even going to the business establishment, it's not hurting you. Just put on a mask. You don't have to wear it the whole time. Look, put on a mask, go shop, come right out the store.
Yeah.
How is that hurting anybody?
Hey, look, I'm just going right there. No, I need you to put your mask on.
It's a minor inconvenience, but like with the face mask thing, the way I look at it is, okay, people are like, wearing a mask is tyranny. Do you consider it tyranny that you have to wear fucking pants? It's the same thing. It's a
Yeah,
piece of
yeah.
clothing that you're required to wear.
Yep.
If you walk out with your dick out, you're going to get arrested. It's not different having to wear a face mask. It's just a piece of clothing that you're required to wear because of the current situation.
That goes myself. Most people are
Temporary
selfish.
problem right now.
Them saving somebody else's life does not matter to them.
Oh, it doesn't.
As long as their life is protected.
All right, so our closing thoughts. So it's important to support black business, support quality business, no matter what business you choose to support.
And have quality products in your
Yeah.
business.
Yeah.
Yes, if you're a business owner, make sure that your quality is up there because at the end of the day, people, regardless of who owns the place, they are looking for quality, value, and service. All right, so keep that in mind. Keep the businesses strong. keep the customers coming back, keep supporting the businesses that are worth supporting. Thank you guys for tuning in to Contextual Advisory. We'll be back again next week with a international celebrity,
Oh.
Fire.
Oh.
Hey.
Fire.
International singing
Yes, sir.
sensation. If you guys enjoyed what you heard, go ahead and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You'll find us on all of your streaming services, including Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify. Check us out. Come back again next week. Contextual Advisory out.
Yes, sir.